question is about struggling day to day just to do the basics. Okay? Usually, this struggle, first of all, one thing to keep in mind is that faith, iman, rises and falls. This is something that the Prophet ﷺ told to his greatest companions, including Abu Bakr, in a hadith, that iman rises and falls. That means that we're not always going to be in the exact same state. You're not always going to feel the way you do it in the last 10 days of Ramadan throughout the year. So your iman rises and falls. However, there is a way to prevent, by the grace of Allah, when it rises, okay, you might be here. And when it falls, you might be here. But sometimes people, they go from here to here under the table and just keep on going down. There's a way to prevent that. And it's called your salah. It's called your dhikr, your remembrance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Yes, we commit sins. Yes, our iman rises and falls. But there is fahsha is shamelessness, and evil deeds, munkar. So these are like the major, really, really bad stuff. Salah helps protect us from those things. If you hold on to your salah, or in general your dhikr, your remembrance, which includes your connection to the Quran, your dua, your adhkar, your supplications, if you hold on to those things, then yes, you will rise and fall, but when you fall, you don't crash. You see? There's like a dip, but you're still within the sunnah. And then you keep going, and you'll go back up. The problem is when a person starts to go down and they lose hope. This is the person who messes up, makes one mistake. They're trying to be perfect, right? As if a human being can be perfect, right? I'm supposed to be perfect. Well, what happens when they mess up? Small mistake, it may be a small mistake. They looked at something haram, they did something haram. And at that point they say to themselves, oh my God, look what I did. I'm such a hypocrite. What's the point of even praying? What's the point of even wearing hijab anymore? This is how it happens, right? And so what's happening there is at the point when they made a mistake, instead of going back to Allah and repenting and being, yes, they felt bad, but instead of that feeling of remorse pushing them to repent, it pushes them to hopelessness. It pushes them to despair. And when a person goes to despair, that's when shaitan comes to them and says, you're a hypocrite. Why are you even going to pray? You're such a bad person. You're two-faced. You're going to the masjid when you're this type of person. So what he's trying to do is distance you further from Allah. You see how he gets you? And this is how he does it. This isn't a new trick. It's like the oldest trick in the book. Okay? It's not new. This is how Allah gets those who are trying on the path of Allah. Through despair. Through despair and also through arrogance. Both. Which actually end up having the same result, which is that either I feel like I'm good enough, so I stop striving, or I feel I'm so bad, so I stop striving. Both make you stop striving. Either if you're arrogant or if you're hopeless. We need to be in the middle. We need to be in the middle. We aren't arrogant, but we don't lose hope either. We have hope in Allah that when I mess up, there's something called tawbah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, what is the most emphasized attribute of Allah? Anyone can tell me this. The little kid knows this. What's the most emphasized attribute?